Hi everyone, this is Julia at Home and I'm Julia. Today I am doing a curriculum review, and the curriculum I will be reviewing is Sitting Together, which is a family-centered curriculum on mindfulness, meditation, and Buddhist teachings. So it comes with 3 books here. These are the children's lesson plans, this is the children's activity book, and then it also comes with an adult study guide. So I think it was designed to be used in the context of a community or a congregation of some sort. I'm sorry, I actually don't know what like a Buddhist congregation is called. But that seems like it's what it is written for, because there are notes for classroom teachers, but it is also designed for families and for various ages. So you could easily, do the children's lessons with the children and then do these on your own or with your spouse or partner or some friends. So I got this to use kind of as character curriculum for us this year. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the inside of the book, because I think that will be really helpful in showing you what it is and what's included. So again, it comes with these 3 books. The main book that I use is the children's lesson plan, so I'm going to start with that. So you can see here the contents. There's units on meditation, kindness, ethics, character, which includes the golden rule, patience, effort, learning from difficulty, wisdom, and equanimity, and nature. And so that's one of the things I really liked at this, was just looking at the index. These are really things that I want to work with my children. Now, this is a caveat here in my review. I have been sick with first trimester pregnancy sickness during the fall term, so we paused this. So I'm actually not quite through the meditation unit. So I am behind where I wanted to be. But what's great about this is you can really just move at your own pace. My ideal was to do one lesson a week and kind of build on it throughout the week. So these are all tips for teachers up here. And it gives you a checklist to prepare. And I just haven't, I'm behind where I wanted to be. So this is like just a welcoming class. I didn't end up really doing this with my kids because it's like learning names and all that, and we already know each other's names. But I did get a little bell, which I will show you after I go through this. So this is kind of what a lesson looks like. It usually includes a song. And to be honest, I haven't been doing those because we're doing these in the context of our circle time and morning time. And I already have seasonal and spiritual songs included in that. So I did look at these to see if there was any I wanted to add to my spiritual songs list. And I did add a few, but I don't necessarily do them with the lesson itself. Then it includes a story. And I'll talk about this in my pros and cons, but they're books, and the books are not included with the curriculum. You have to go purchase or borrow from the library separately. And you really do need the book you could do some of the activities, but they make so much more sense with the book, and a lot of the text and the activity will refer back to the book. So that's an important thing to know that I didn't really know from the beginning, that you'll need to go out and acquire a book for pretty much every lesson. Every lesson has a book associated with it. Now, I do like their book choices. And just as like a book list that was, free or not very expensive, this would be really valuable. I also do like it includes instructions for meditation. So you can kind of see with the lesson, again, here's one, there's a song, there's the story that is a book. There's questions you can ask. I tried that. I found my kids weren't really ready yet, so it worked better to talk about it maybe the next day or later that day. Then there's usually a meditation, a specific one, and 1 or 2 activities. We haven't been doing a lot of the activities. I am going to do a few of them. And some of them there's coloring pages for. So you kind of get an idea of what's in this book. I'm going to move on to the activity book. Here is the activity book that comes with the Sitting Together curriculum, and it is actually mostly coloring pages, and what I would do is copy them so you have one for each child. This is a cutout for a pinwheel, so you can copy that. You can cut it out of colored paper is I think what they recommend to do the pinwheel, and you also need some other supplies that are not included for that. This is for mindfulness. So it's not all coloring pages. There's some other things to do, cutouts and stuff too, but a majority of it is coloring pages that usually coordinate with the book in some way. Here's a finger labyrinth. So, I mean, my kids are a little young for those, so, I mean, my kids do like coloring pages, so in that, it's nice to have it with this, but you may or may not choose to use them. We haven't really used it much. This is the adult study guide portion, and this I think is actually really valuable. I had planned to do a lesson myself when my children, like the same week I did the lesson with my kids. They kind of coordinate. It has more information about the curriculum and all that, and how you can do this in groups and meditations. But there's it's like exercises. And meditations and takeaway points. And there's discussion. Where'd it go? There's discussion questions at the end. So if you are in a group or doing it with someone else, those would be helpful. So I think this is actually in and of itself really useful. I just, again, with being sick and being a homeschool mom who's pregnant, it's not something that I'm currently doing, but I think it's something that I will hold on to until there's a good time in my life to do it. Here is a sampling of some of the books from the meditation section. I don't actually have the books for the other sections yet. I'm going to look at the library, and then I might end up purchasing some. So, No Ordinary Apple, Peaceful Piggy Meditation. And I have to say, I've been really pleased with the books that were chosen. I think it's a good list of books. My children have enjoyed them. This isn't the version of Stone Soup they recommend, but I had this one, so why get something new? So those are just some of them. So I do want to show you my bell, because I love bell. Trying to do it quietly because it can get quite loud. I had used this one in a class I taught in our religious education class at our Unitarian Universalist Church when I was teaching before we moved. And so I got the same one because I liked it, and I do the same exercise. So I'm actually going to talk you through how I'm using this. So it's part of our circle time, and we only do the lesson once a week. But I may, depending on what it is, incorporate meditations or other parts of it, or to talk about the book another day of the week during circle time. But we start with the bell, and what I'll do is I'll ring the bell and have them all lift up a finger, and they have to stop and listen and put their finger down when they don't hear the sound anymore. It's really calming. Its sound usually lasts a while, and you really have to pay attention, so it's really a good centering exercise, and I really enjoy starting that way. So after we've done our bell mini meditation or centering exercise, I get out the lesson plan book and with my lesson, and I will get out the book. So for this purpose, I'm using lesson 2, which could be technically lesson 3 if you do the welcoming one, but for me it's lesson 2. It's 1.2. And the book is No Ordinary Apple, and it's about eating mindfully. So we don't do the song. It tells us to do the song in, out, deep, slow. We've already done a spiritual song earlier in our circle time, so I do not do that. And I did do a little introduction for them, asking them what their senses were, and they know their senses, so that's good. They're 5 senses. And then I said this one's about taste and eating, and I went ahead and I read the book, which they enjoy, and then after the book, this exercise is pretty easy. All you need are apples, right? And you actually practice eating the apple mindfully. So we did this. Depending on when you're doing it, you might not want to give your kids a snack, and you could just easily do that during snack time. And this also comes with a recommendation of activity of the Six Senses House, which is a template that I showed you briefly. It's one of the templates in the activity book. So you could do that. I chose not to. Again, I'm not trying to make this, I think this is designed to be like a 30, 45 minute long lesson, which is not really what I want. I'm doing this in the context of our circle and morning time in the morning, where we're also doing other songs and poems and books and everything. So I'm not trying to make this a really long lesson. I'm just trying to introduce these concepts to my children. So later in the week, I would then talk to them about, I would try to continue talking to them about mindful eating. And it's something we actually might come back to and redo this one, because it's something that, you know, I haven't been talking about any of these concepts since I've been sick. So coming back to this in January, I don't know when this video is going to go up, but when we start in January, I am planning on coming back to this, and I'm actually going to go back a little bit and do some of these meditation ones again, with hopes of being more consistent with it. Okay, so pros and cons. So it has both. I like that it's structured, and it tells me you know, which book to do each week, and it's got great book suggestions. So that's kind of two things. The structure of, I don't have to come up with, you know, what I'm doing each week for our character lessons. It's all laid out for me, and it includes things that I want to cover with my kids. The second part of that is the books are good. It's a really good list of books and stuff that I think a child across multiple ages could benefit from. And then the meditation instructions, I really like that includes meditation instructions. I can talk through it with my kids and myself. I like that there's the another pro would be that it does include the activity book and adult study guide. That really gives it more value. The cons are that it doesn't come with the books, so you do have to go seek out. The ones I have here are all ones that I bought because when I was prepping, we were in the middle of moving and I wasn't sure what the library situation was going to be. So now that we are a little bit more settled, I'm going to be going to the library more and seeing if I can find some of the books at the library before purchasing. But that got a little pricey. So, and I just got the basic ones I needed for just the meditation unit. So the other con is that it's expensive. I think it's between $50 and $60. And again, what you get for that, what you get for that are just these 3 books. So all in all, I'm not sure that I would purchase it again just for that reason, because it's expensive and you have to get the other books to actually use the curriculum with your children. Now, each family is going to have its own calculation on expense and is it worth it. That's just kind of my 2 cents. Am I glad I have it now? Yeah, I'm gonna continue using it. I have a little friend here. Hold on. That is my review of the Sitting Together curriculum. Hopefully that was helpful to some of you out there who might have been curious about it. If you liked this, please click the thumbs up button below and subscribe to see more videos on homeschooling and garden and home in general and some pregnancy and baby updates. Talk to you later.